Hey y'all, Scott here, and you're listening to Influence with Jordan Elliott on WRHU.
88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. You are listening to Influence with Jordan Elliott. As always, I'm Jordan Elliott, and I am thrilled to welcome the infamous YouTube comedian and creator, Scott Wozniak, also known as Scott the Woz.
Thank you so much for having me.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Scott's work, he covers the world of video games with animation, skits, and clever narration. Scott, I have to say, I think that you are living every college kid's dream. Let's live vicariously through you. What's on deck for you today?
What's on deck for me today? I woke up, I had like pallets of merchandise delivered to a storage unit, so I had to deal with that, and now I'm gonna make thumbnails. I'm very lucky to be living like this. So like you're saying, like it's a dream to be able to do this kind of stuff. So I think like when you are able to do it, like you know, count your blessings because like it's genuinely a huge honor to be able to create and to be able to entertain people for a living, and also to have people respond to it. For most of the response to be positive, it's a dream come true. But you know, some days are a little boring. Sometimes you got to just do a lot of maintenance stuff. So this is one of those days. But I'm happy to take a little break to just to chat here.
I actually started uploading on YouTube back when I was a kid, in large part due to the Nickelodeon show iCarly. Also, they had like a lot of like the parody YouTube channels. I was big into those, like Burt Baker and the Key of Awesome, all of those. Do you remember what your inspiration was back in the day? Who were you into that made you want to start uploading on the internet?
Back when I was much younger, like when I was very, very young, like the first thing I wanted to be was like I wanted to work in animation in some way. I was always drawing as a kid, and I would do a lot of just like you know, I was an only child, so you know, a lot of this could be potentially linked to that. But you know, I'd spend a lot of times like pacing in my driveway, just talking to myself, conceptualizing little TV shows or movies and stuff. I would think of like, I'm going to make a cartoon and I'm going to make a movie based on that cartoon and a video game based on that cartoon. And I would like conceptualize what that would be. I think I kind of fell out of like wanting to straight up be an animator because of just how much work seemed to go into it. I would just doodle on like Microsoft Paint, and then I would export each frame individually and put them into Windows Movie Maker and try to make little cartoons. And they were the worst things in the world, like so crude, just awful. I eventually got like a camera for Christmas. Again, a horrible camera, but you know, I would start doing little skits, and I discovered YouTube around that time. And YouTube originally was kind of just a place to watch like clips from TV shows and movies people would upload. Eventually, I discovered stuff like the Angry Video Game Nerds and a Massacre, Smosh. I discovered Smosh, and just all the big YouTube channels back then that were like in like the top 10. That's how I kind of discovered like how much I was interested in like video games, and also like linking humor with video games, kind of creating like humorous looks at video games. And I think I discovered there's so much creativity you can do with that, because a video game is your own experience, comparative to like a movie, which you can still be creative with like a critique of a movie. But you know, everybody watches the same movie when they're watching a movie. With a video game, it's all your own experience, and you can take that in so many different directions.
I definitely see a lot of the AVGN influence.
I watch like a little bit of every type of video game YouTuber, and also just a lot of the big YouTubers at that time in general, to the point that like I realized how cool it would be to do that. Obviously, I would have loved to make like movies and TV shows and have that be like playing in theaters all over the world. But doing YouTube just seemed like obtainable. It was something that like, oh, you're like, I can do this. Like I can upload stuff, and who knows, it could go big. Everybody has the same shot to just upload something and to have it be seen by the world. You know, so I think that's what really excited me about it.
I feel like for someone who has so many videos on old video games and video game past experiences, I want to know what you're currently playing right now. Is there any game that just came out that you've been obsessed with?
Usually, because I do like these yearly retrospectives on the Nintendo Switch, I do try to keep up with the Nintendo releases. At this moment is like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Nintendo World Championships. I finally popped in like God of War Ragnarok. I try to stay as up to date as possible.
I've been playing some Luigi's Mansion 2 HD as well. I paid $60 for a game I paid $40 for 10 years ago. That's the Nintendo.
Game itself isn't that great either. It's okay.
You're fresh off of the Wozzie Award show in Chicago. What a brilliant concept. Let me see if I could get this right. You had audience members fill out forms about themselves for a chance to win awards made up by you.
Yeah. Live show was a kind of a mock award show. We sent all the ticket holders a Google form. I had me and my friends kind of come up with just random old questions, trying to pick them for the stupidest possible answers and or just the weirdest ones possible. And we sold out like a 900 plus seat theater, got like 600 responses to the form. That was a lot to shift through. It was a ton, but I think we covered a lot of the people that were there. I think everybody at the very end of the show, we had a little credit sequence of everybody that submitted. So, I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, it went over pretty well. It was an exciting time for sure.
Do you have a favorite question that was asked or any favorite moment from that show?
That was the first show we've ever done. And, we definitely learned a lot from it. I think it went overall pretty okay. We had a couple technical difficulties, a few pacing problems, I think. But for the most part, I'm currently going through the video edit of the event. So that should be up hopefully soon. I think my favorite moment, we asked people what their shoe size was. And we got two people that were over size 15s. And they won like the award for biggest shoe size, which we just named like, oh my big B. And the one guy that won was a size 16, and he came out on stage, and we had like this goofy video playing in the background. Came out on stage unprompted, took off his shoe, held it in the air like it was like some fantasy item. He just unsheathed the sword. And we just have like a screenshot where I'm just like absolutely in awe of him. We have my friend Justin in the back, like going like, yeah, so that was really fun. For a first time show, I think it went pretty well. And, hopefully they just get better and better from here on out, if or when we do any more of them.
I'm hoping to see you take the Wozzies or some form of that live experience on the road.
I hope so too. I don't think we can do like a tour like other people do a tour that's like a month long and just our bread and butter is videos. Like that's what I want to do. I don't want to be on the road for a month. I also have cats I have to take care of, so I'm like I can't do this.
Well, we'd love to see you here in New York. 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to Influence with Jordan Elliott. We are talking to one of my favorite YouTubers, Scott the Woz. Scott, I don't mean to insult you, but from one video game nerd with glasses to another, it has to feel amazing to not only become successful and famous. Every jock that you went to high school with who has given you a wedgie has to be biting their tongue right now. Have you ever been to like a high school reunion or something where someone's recognized you?
I didn't really have like anybody that was like tormenting me in high school or anything, but people do know like how the YouTube channel has gone, and I've gotten a lot of support and a lot of excitement from people that are just kind of like, wow, that's awesome. Throughout high school, I was still making YouTube videos, and I was still people knew me as the guy that makes videos and the guy that will edit your video. Like I had so many people ask me, it's just like, yo, Scott, I got this cool video project. Do you want to edit it? I'm like, I would love to. It was fun for me. I would get like a $20 bill sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? The only time I felt kind of taken advantage of is when I would get asked by like family members to do weddings.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like they were taking advantage of me, but it just kind of felt like this is supposed to be an event for the rest of the family where they're celebrating and enjoying their time, and I'm spent running around with a video camera trying to get everything, and I'm getting paid significantly less than if they would actually hire an actual videographer. Videography is not my strongest suit either. Like I'm not like, wow, I'm a great cinematographer or anything. So it was, I hated filming weddings. Like I filmed like 2 or 3, so would never do that. But yeah.
A probably lesser known aspect of The Life of Scott the Woz is your philanthropy. So far, you have raised over $1 million for the Children's Miracle Network and Critical Care Comics. How can the WRHU audience get involved with that?
We usually try to do charity campaigns once a year. We sell merchandise where all the profit goes to charity, and that's the only time that I've done merchandise is where all the profit goes to charity. And we've been able to do some once in a lifetime kind of products. That way, we partnered with Hasbro and USAopoly for Monopoly Scott the Woz edition and Clue Scott the Woz edition. The Scott the Woz trading cards, which was like one of my favorite things we ever did. VHS releases and some cool like mystery games where they were like official retro games that we bought from used game stores and put a sticker on them. So then it's just like you don't know what you get until you plug it into your system. Currently, right now, we're not doing anything right now. We wrapped up our merchandise for charity campaign and raised $1 million throughout the years. But I think in the coming year or two, we're definitely going to be coming back and we're definitely going to be doing more of that. So I would say if you would want to stay tuned to like probably the Blue Border Entertainment Twitter account, that's probably where we would give more merchandise updates. We're going to be doing some merchandise for profit to eventually fund more cool merchandise for charity.
Scott, it's been great talking to you. Finally, do you have any words of inspiration or advice that you have for the students of Hofstra?
I think a lot of people who try to do creative work, it can feel kind of discouraging sometimes, especially now that there's like instant gratification where you can post something online and immediately see how many people are viewing it and people can immediately comment on it and all of that. And a lot of people will comment bad things or negative things when it's a smaller account or whatever. Or if you just try to be like, a little creative, you might be a little cringy or whatever. My advice is it's like the lamest advice possible because like it's like the most basic thing ever. Don't give up. As you get older, you start to realize like a lot of the basic advice people give is like, oh damn, that's actually true. I shouldn't give up. Or like, oh yeah, life is about finding a good balance and all of that. Like it's true. I see so many people who try YouTube channels, they try it for like 3 months and then they stop, they give up. I think being creative is one of the best hobbies you could possibly have. Like when you get done with work and you got some free time, commit some time to just working on your creative endeavors. And if people are like saying that it's like cringy or something to kind of like act or do something stupid in like a little costume on a camera, they are the most miserable people in the world. The cringy people out there are the people keeping this world fun and happy. And I see people like, oh, it's just like, I don't like when Scott sings in his videos, or I don't like when Scott that does little comedy sketches and stuff. And I'm like, I understand that may not be for you, but if I stop doing that, eventually you're going to whittle me down to like no personality and there would be nothing left. And it would just be like the same videos that anybody else makes. So hey, don't give up. Don't be afraid to express yourself. If you can make yourself laugh, or you can make yourself entertained, or you can make your friends entertained, you can make your friends laugh, like that's all that matters. I think everybody has a chance to have a successful career online doing creative stuff. You just can't be afraid to put yourself out there.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Scott. That was very inspirational. 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University. This has been Influence with Jordan Elliott. I will see you next time.